There we go. Got it.
Hello and welcome to I Like Art, the podcast. And I'm really excited today to interview an artist all the way in India, across the world. Her name is Ana Sneeringer. And I'm so excited to talk to you today, Ana. How are you doing?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing good. And thank you for having me on your podcast. And I'm really excited because it's my first ever podcast. So be gentle.
For sure. Oh, I'm honored to have you on here. And I'm surprised that I'm your first podcast interview. I hope this is the first of many. And I just cannot wait to hear more about you and your story and your art. And let's get started. Let's just cut to the chase. So, Ana, you are not from India. You're from Slovenia, correct? And
Correct,
you
yes.
have traveled a lot. So I know my viewers would love to hear as much of your story as you would like to share with us. So go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I don't even know what to call home anymore. Like at the moment is India, right? But I'm a, how should I say that? That I'm a citizen of the world. You know, I lived in 9 different countries, and the longest one was, of course, my home country, which is Slovenia. But it's funny when I look back, I never felt that I belonged in that country. Like even when I spoke the language, Slovenian language, it just didn't sit well with me. Like, you know, we would have like a school, like you have in English, we would have Slovenian, and you would do the grammar, and it just didn't work with me. So like when I was 29, I left that country due to meeting the love of my life, my husband, and you know, and now I am communicating in Slovenian very little, which is with my parents or with my friends, but mostly I'm in English. But during living all around the world, I learned a couple of different languages, which I think is so cool.
That's so cool.
Wow. Yeah.
And
but if I go,
go ahead. I was going to say, when you were a kid, were you into art? Is that?
Now, so I've got this interesting feeling in me, not feeling, ability of forgetting things, which I think it's beneficial for sometimes, but not so beneficial for the memories. So I do not remember if I did art, but I for sure was artistic because I know I loved music, and I have an older brother, and he used to play a guitar, and I was totally fan of him. And you know, all I wanted to do was play a guitar, never learn it, but like, you know, that type of the art was something that I was driven by. But I never was thinking that I will be artist ever, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I finished my high school for the medicine.
Okay.
So I'm a nurse.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, no, I'm not a nurse. No, I could never be a nurse. Like even now when I need to help somebody, where is the blood involved, it just doesn't work with me. I cannot connect with that. It makes me become weak. So that because of that reason, I went to the college to study the design and fashion. Do not ask me why, just because, like, you know, as a teenager, I don't think at that age a lot of people does not know what they want to study, what they want to be, and one of them is me, right? And so when I was in my second year of the college, I was just like overwhelmed with the program. There was a lot of physics and a lot of math and chemistry, and I was just like, I can't do this, like, you know. But while I was studying, I would be working. So I worked I was a bartender. I was working in a shop, like a clothing shop, and then I would work in a post office, and then I just didn't want to work anymore and I applied to be an assistant of a TV producer. I don't know why, because I don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know anything about the TV, but it was like open for the students, open position. So I applied, and I was like, oh, let me see. And yeah, I go to have an interview, and then next day, I got a call that I'm accepted. And so I come to work in a few days, and the lady that is a producer there, she comes and tells me, I'm quitting, you're taking over my job. And I'm like, what?
Yes, instantly promoted.
Instantly promoted, right? So, and I was like, I don't even know like how the video recorder is working. Like, in that time, that was, how old was I? 22 or something. Like, that was like 22 years ago. No?
Oh
Yeah,
my
something like this.
word.
Yeah. So, that time they were those cassettes, the
Uh-huh.
VCR
Yeah.
recorders, right? So we worked with that a lot. You had to know all the system, because it was a little small local TV station. And, me as a producer, I was basically everything. There was 7 people working on that TV station, but it was like pretty like established little local TV station.
Were you reporting
So
the
from there
news?
on,
Like the news station?
no, no, no. No, yeah, we did have also reporting the news, but more we were more aiming towards the documentaries, like more not National Geographic type, but something
Oh,
in that.
okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
It was really
Informational.
interesting, though.
Hmm.
Yeah, informational TV station, right? So, and then I stayed and worked for 11 years with them. No, I'm lying. Sorry, 9 years. Because at 29 I left. So yeah, I was 20 when I was accepted, not 22, 20, and then 9 years, and then at 29 I left. And in the meantime, um, I went from the TV producer to the host, from host to to
Wow.
the assistant of the director, and then the director of the program of the TV station. Not of that one where I started working, but the different one.
Okay.
And then I met my future husband and just decided that I'm going to go and live around the world, because I'm not going to waste my time on an online relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
that time it was, it was kind of weird to say, oh, I've got like a boyfriend that is like I'm dating online. And we didn't basically even date online,
Mm-hmm.
because like when we started dating 6 months later, I was like, okay, let me go see if he is, because I really don't want to waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I left and I never came back.
Oh,
So
wow. And
yeah,
you've traveled to many countries. All right. I have two
many
things.
countries.
I love
Yeah.
this so much. Do you have footage from when you were on these shows? I mean, I feel like that would be such a cool reel. Like, here's
I
Ana.
do. That would be awesome. It used to be some on YouTube, but I was just like searching for it like maybe a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot find it. Maybe it's because I have a couple of restrictions when you are like in the different countries. You
Mm.
can't, like, it's always popping most of the time the things that are from that country, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it just doesn't find, or maybe they pulled it off. But I do have a old like a hard disk where I have all my footages of my TV shows,
Oh,
which
that's
it's
fun.
that is fun. But it's also so interesting, because when I look back to it, it was called "You See What You Want to See," which is basically basically that's what I do. You get what you get from me. Like, that's me. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
faking anything. I know I'm not even faking through my art, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and what I did in that TV show, I would host, not host, I would have an interview one-on-one with persons. So I was doing a portraits of a people, and now I paint portraits of a people,
Oh,
right? It's that connection.
cool.
So it's, yeah, never purposely did that. It just like, it flew through, like, as my art. Like, as I said, I never purposely did any art. So when I left the Slovenia, I stayed and worked a little bit as a journalist in a written form for a couple of magazines, but that didn't work out. It was just hard. There was a time difference, and then if I wanted to work in a certain country, I had to learn the language, so it was just too much. And one day I just started painting, and from there on I just took it off.
Oh
And
my
yeah,
goodness. Okay.
yeah.
That's so interesting. So you have been, okay, could you name the countries that you've lived in? If you don't remember them all, it's okay.
Okay, no, I should remember.
I don't know.
Right, my memory. So it was right my country, and then there was a Jordan, Amman. There was a Moscow, Russia, um, Paris, France,
Mm,
Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Den Haag, Netherlands, India, Hyderabad, in Germany,
okay.
in Munich. Yeah, in Munich, very short, but like I lived there,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
um, that was. But I lived there when I was even before I met my husband, though. So
Hmm.
yeah,
What's your
yeah.
favorite place that you've lived in?
I don't have one that I would say like, oh, I would like to go back there. I
Hmm.
am really interested into the new countries that are ahead of me, and
Hmm.
or maybe let's see what's gonna bring. We are just about to emerge to a new adventure.
Oh,
Um, yeah, but it's I'll speak about
yeah.
it anytime, sometime soon. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I
yeah,
can't wait to hear more. I'm already like,
yeah.
please
Yeah,
share.
it's exciting. It's something completely new that it's like a little bit scary, but it's like
Hmm.
it's it's cool.
Hmm.
So but if I go back to art, right, I started with an abstract art, right.
I
Have I
can't
ever
believe
told you
that.
that? Yeah.
Abstract.
I started abstract. I didn't even know what I'm doing. I just bought myself oil paints, palette knives, and I started painting, and I loved it. And I found like way of relaxation
Mm,
um, in that, but it wasn't enough challenging for me. So I wanted to do something else. I wanted to challenge myself in a sense like, let me learn, let me see if I know how to paint a face, right? And because it's the hardest part is to paint the human
hmm.
human face and human features, right? Hands
Yes.
and legs, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, and that's how I ended up doing the portraits.
Yes. Oh, the challenges, right? So
Yeah.
you just had a feeling one day like maybe I should paint. And then you started painting.
No, so what happened is while I was painting this, I always like after I finished the high school, I started working and taking care of myself. I left home to my
Hmm.
small town where I lived with my parents to go study in the capital. And so, as I mentioned before, I worked. So I was always independent. And then when I moved with my financial independent, right? So
Hmm.
when I moved with my husband, I didn't have work, right? And it was like really, really bugging me. Like, I can be a homestay mom or whatever. That
Hmm.
time I wasn't mom. That time I was a just wife, you know.
Hmm.
And it's just that thought that like I don't want him just bringing money. I don't want to like ask him, hey, can you give me some money for a coffee? And I never had to, right? But it's like it was just my mental state that I need to provide for myself as well.
Hmm.
So and living around the world, having that issue with not being capable of finding a work, um, we established a lavender farm in US. My husband and I, we in the Washington state. We have beautiful property on the top of the mountain. It's totally off grid, and we planted there like 7,000 plants of lavender. Um,
That's amazing.
it's yeah, it's like from it's spurred from 30 plants to 7,000, and
Wow.
we're growing more. Yeah, and first we just wanted to have the lavender there, just because that area in the summertime gets very deserted and it's brown because it's so hot, but the lavender grows July and the beginning of August,
Hmm.
and if you combine those two colors like
Mm.
brown and purple, oh, it's so beautiful.
Hmm.
um but we also thought like because we don't live there, and the house is really cool. Basically it's run on solar energy and wind energy. right? And
The
like
whole
we also,
place?
the whole place, yeah.
What?
There is no, yeah. And we are so we established a nonprofit organization where we are offering the education to the community and educating about sustainable living and self-sufficiency. But having this lavender on the farm, we also educate about that, and then we also make products and sell them to support the farm. So like we're just having hosting now in April. We could go back because of before we couldn't because of the COVID. We're bringing schools to educate them from the area, and at the moment it's like very local. But we are expanding, right? You know, now it's just like a county, and then now we're going to expand probably in the state, and then like you know, because the U.S. is pretty big, and not everybody can just like you know, schools cannot drive to our area just like that easy and to spend one day there. But it's awesome though. You know, I think it's very very cool to give the opportunity to the kids to learn, you know, those things. They are learning about self-sufficiency and, you know, sustainable living in the schools, I would say so.
But to see it.
But to see it, but especially the kids that live in the cities, right? Because this is off grid. You have to like you have to come up there and you have to be aware of the wildlife there, right? You have to like you know where you're gonna step, that you don't step on a snake. You have to just like learn to be dirty. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's so beneficial when you do those things. Like you know, I mean, at least I grew up in a city, but I love it to go to the farm somewhere. Yeah.
So would you visit often before COVID? Would you go like once a year, or do you?
It depends where I lived. Yeah, I would try to go once a year. So before COVID, we would also have Lavender Festival every year.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So we would have people come from, oh man, they would be coming from British Columbia in Canada,
Oh,
just for the
wow.
festival, right? So people are interested in coming driving because it's not that close, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
still, but that state itself, it's so beautiful that you just want to go on the, you know, just on a short vacation, drive through it. I mean, I am really blown with the landscape of that state.
Oh
So,
my
you know.
goodness. So what's the name of the lavender farm? We're going to put a link to it in the show
Oh,
notes.
okay, cool. Thank you. The name is Okanagan Highlands Lavender Farm. So Okanagan is the county, right?
Okay.
And then Highlands is because it's in the highlands, right? In the deserted area, shrub deserted area. And it's another really cool feature that that area has. It has a lot of sagebrush, you know, and we have like one old, probably um, old tree in the middle of the fields of the sagebrush that is probably, I don't know, 50 years old or something, or even more. And it looks so cute in that purple, and then it's like brownish, that sagebrush. It's awesome. So,
Oh.
yeah. So that's the organization. So, anyway, we established that for me to work. So, I ran that organization and I still do, but like in 2020, I gave my work to my assistant to run it. I still help, but in 2022, I decided I can't do that. It's too much. It's too much to work abroad. There is a time difference again, right? And also, I just felt different calling, and that calling was going towards my art. And you know when you work certain things that are just, you do them because you have to do them, and they don't exactly fulfill you, but
Yeah.
you know, and then you listen to yourself and you try to follow that dream. And I followed my dream into the art, and I'm just now like enjoying my life for 2 years, and I love it. And I never felt any, I work every day, and like I paint every day, and I never felt like this is my job. Even when I have to promote my art, it's, you know, I don't feel like because like if you would give me one product to promote it, it's like, oh shit, like you know how to do that. You feel bad, like you know you're imposing into somebody. but this is different, like, yeah,
Ooh,
which I believe you understand how it is, right?
yes, I do. Okay. So many great things that you just uncovered there. And thank you for sharing your story. I know that your life is so interesting and you're traveling and your story is just awesome. So thank you for that. And I met you through the Art Queens group, and it's been so much fun to get to know you. And at one point you shared your lavender farm, and I was so blown away because it's like, wait, I thought, how can you do that and this? And that's so interesting. It's a beautiful place. I've looked at the website, and you can order lavender products on there. And you were kind enough to send me a package of your lavender products from there. And they're all just top notch, amazing, and love everything that you sent. So everyone's gonna have to go check that out. But this is the perfect segue into talking about your art. So I would love for you to describe your beautiful art. What's it about? What are you saying with your work? And then to touch on your new series that you just released called Abstract Life. So I know it's a lot.
No, it's well, thank you for asking me this question, because I tend to analyze my art a lot. I paint it and then I sit and I analyze. Like I believe we all do, artists do that, right? And I put a lot of thoughts into what I do when I started like really getting into the art painting. So it started kind of with these little portraits that you see on the labels of the lavender products. So there you could see men and women of the different cultures. So there are fine art watercolor portraits. And so that time, as I said, right, I painted men and women just because like I was practicing the face and also, but before that, I have to go back. My first facial basically was I lived for 6 months at the farm when I was doing my documents for the US. And so farm used to be, which majority of the US land used to be Native Americans, right? But that place itself has some amazing energy. So I've never been there before. And when I came there, it was just like, you could feel it. Like, and I never even put thought into like having this wild energy going through you, never believed in it. So anyway, and I was there 6 months, and I had my first daughter, and she was with me, and I started painting Native Americans, right? And I have like a full stack of paperwork of Native Americans, and then I had an exhibition there in the local gallery.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like, I just came there and I was like, hey, do you want me to have an exhibition? Like, can I have an exhibition here? And they were like, yeah, okay.
Oh, good.
Never, just like, I tried. So anyway, so from there on, I started painting the faces like more different cultures, and then I put them on these products. I didn't know what to do with my art, so I was like, and that time we were looking into the labels for the products, and I'm like, I think that would be really cool. Like, with my husband, we both like that idea, and we call the products "Stay Native." It has nothing to do with the Native Americans, and it speaks about stay native, stay true to yourself, stay true to the nature, right? So like, now talking to you, I just see like all the connection, because this stay true to yourself is my art, right? It's like be you, right? And so before COVID, I would be engaging a lot in the different female communities, right? And I would be really inspired by the stories of the people that I would speak to. And I think that journalists, my previous life as a journalist has something to do with it. And so that would be my inspiration. And then I would come home and I would paint faces. And then the COVID started, and I couldn't meet any more people, right? And I was left with myself. And then I started digging to myself. And to this day, I am basically exploring myself. How am I as a woman reacting to the certain things in life, and through the pose, through the thought, through the emotion. And that's how I kind of base my series as well. And I started with a really cool, interesting series that I thought it was really cool. It was called Guilt Trip. And it was basically my first series when I opened my business as an artist. It's the series with the female face and facial expression, and on the side with the including. No, wait, let me fix this. It's the female face with the food, in a connection with the food. Like there would be a there would be a woman having a stack of pancakes on her head, and the title would be Pancakes on My Mind, because here, when we were here in India, we were so restricted. You couldn't get certain things, and you were thinking about, maybe that was just a synonym for me, pancakes on my mind. It was more like on my mind was something to go out of this house, because I'm locked, and I wanted to go do some good guilt trip for myself, that I don't know, go buy myself shoes, whatever. So that would be the lady with the pancakes on her head, or there would be a lady smoking the carrot. It was,
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool though. And so, and then I kind of, you started also on that social media, and at the beginnings are really hard on social media, right? It's like nobody knows you. Not now, a lot of people knows me either, but still, and then you kind of reflect on that, and there's oh, there's no likes, and there's oh, maybe people don't like that, but let me try something else. And I think with every series you progress, right? You go from not so good to a little better, and then better and better and better, right? And then my second series, I painted a lot of series in these 2 years. I guess I had a bunch of time.
Right.
We were locked in the house. So, everything basically is through me. So there would be a continuation, which included series of ladies wrapped in the rainbow colors. And right. So that would be look, it's your life still continuing to go, right? And there is always, after rain comes sun, and there is a rainbow, right? There is a hope. That would be kind of message in that series. But next to these subtle messages, the main message in my art is listen to yourself and be yourself. And when you see the circle on my on the cheeks,
tell me
of my
about the circles.
Yeah, so they represent the unity, which means that you've got unity is you've got everything what you need for your own success within you. And your own success doesn't have to be financial success. It could be success of whatever. And for me, exactly, it's the biggest success is for me that I see that people get inspired by my art, and makes impact on them. And I have a lot of people come to me and tell me that my art made them change their life. And that's the biggest success for me, especially here in India, because everybody knows that India is the woman here has a lot of restrictions to be equal to a man, So, and that's another aspect of in my art is I'm trying to portray also equality between men and women. It's not, so.
Yeah. Oh, I see all of that in your work, and it's amazing to hear you explain it and talk about it. I could just hear you talking, telling stories about your work all day. It's so good. And so your work is so striking. Your use of color, pattern is something that you're drawn to. I love your patterns, black and white striping or patterns juxtaposed with the color. Your imagery is just it's captivating. It just brings you right in. And the gaze of these ladies, I love how you call them your ladies. It's very strong. These women are very strong and unapologetic, but in a very, I would say in a kind way, not in like a in your face. Your message is powerful, but it's powerful in such a beautiful way it's not to put down anybody. It's like, this is who I am and this is who I represent. But in a very, I think the energy that you put into your work comes out of the canvas. It's something that is not easy to achieve, where I've definitely seen portrayals of women who are strong, but it's not as well received. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you.
No, you are, because so I see a woman, and I'll speak just about the woman because I'm a woman. I don't know how to speak about a man. That's why I also stopped painting a man, because I just couldn't, you can connect to the man to the certain level, but I'm a woman and I know how I feel as a woman, and you and I probably feel a lot similar than I do with the male population, right? We tend to be more emotional, more empathetic, and but saying that, being emotional and empathetic, I think that's a strength of a woman, and that's why I feel that every woman has that strength in herself to not be how would I say that? To not be on the same level as a man, because society portrays men as strong and women as not strong. Even if it's very interesting. I had this conversation with my younger daughter today. She says to me, "Oh, Dad is way stronger than you." I was like, "What? In what sense do you think he's stronger?" "Well, he has bigger muscles. He's taller than you." In that sense. And society does portray us in that sense. It's man is stronger than a woman, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe physically, yes, but mentally it's not. I see us equal, and that's why I'm portraying the women with the gaze, which kind of can it's trying to speak to you through you, to remind you, hey, you have that power to be like, don't feel like you don't have power to achieve things you want to. You just have to go towards it. Once we start changing and go to follow our dreams, we tend to lose the people around us, right? Because they get like what's like, she's so different now, right? She's so arrogant. But it's not me being arrogant. It's just like, I'm not gonna fulfill any more your dreams. I'm fulfilling my own dreams. And so I think it's like, once woman realizes that power in herself, that she can achieve anything she wants to, and she can just do it. And that's what I'm trying to do with my art: portray and tell, bring that message. Hey, you can do that. You can be totally equal to a man, totally equal to another woman. It's not like, there is a lot of competition between the women, which is, I just don't understand. I never understood that part, but I'm hoping it's changing now, though. So,
but you also said that at one point, I heard you say that men also connect to your art. So these women they're feminine, but they're not. It's like you kind of, it's not like you're over feminizing these women either.
No.
You're just saying the fact that I'm a woman, I have this perspective, so I'm portraying women, but this is an issue of equality for everybody. And I think you touched on that maybe on a blog post, I think, or somewhere on your website I read about talking about feminism, and you're more an advocate for the sense of equality for all, not just for women. And so there's a difference there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I'm just speaking about a woman because they are women, right? Are. But it's like, the same applies to the man. There is it could be like, as man could be like overpowering. It could be also woman over, just because the media and society shows that man does that, overpowering the woman. It's not true. It goes both ways. So yeah, and I did got questions that if my art is feminist, and it's not. It's basically about the equality between, like, we both have the same rights in the world. Like, if a man can be a CEO of some company, woman can be that as well. Like, if men can play with the cars, woman can too. If woman can play with the Barbies, men can play with the Barbies. Like, why are we making these differences between the people, right? So, and that's why I love India here, like, especially, like, the color pink and blue, how, like, modern world, like, pink just for the girls, right, and blue for the boys. And here it's like nobody makes those, like, differences between those colors. Like, men wear pink, women wear blue. Like, it's they don't do those differences, but they do different.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Ooh, so I can tell that you're very passionate about this, and it shines through in your work, and it's so amazing. I think there are more people that need to talk about this. So it's wonderful. And I could not say enough great things about your artwork. Is just, it's so awesome on so many levels. I don't know why I can't think of another adjective here. I want you to talk about, okay, so I got to know you better through Celine Gabrielle and one of her artist pep rally groups. And that was a lot of fun. We met once a week over Zoom with 4 other artists. So there were 6 of us total. And then Celine was the moderator. That was so much fun. And at that time, you had been creating some new work, and you were kind of merging into this new level, like a new series. And you went from your portraits and your faces to the full figure. So, and you recently launched this collection. It's called Abstract Life, and it's truly a level up. It's so awesome. I want you to talk about that and how you were getting the nudge to not work just on portraitures, but on the figures, and then changing from acrylic to oils, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's so I've been painting just portraits, right? I started with the watercolors, and then I switched to the acrylic, because I just felt like acrylic is powerful in a sense, like it's plastic, it's durable, right? It dries quick, like you could, like, pound with it, and it's gonna just, like, my strokes were really sharp and, like, bold strokes in my art. And I felt I can do that with acrylic more than I could do with oils. And, like, and I was wanting, and I still want to be very loud through my portraits, like, hey, woman, wake up, or man, whoever. So I think that medium acrylic has this capability to satisfy my need to bring the portrait in that style out, right? But then last year I started feeling some really, really strong urge to connect with something more earthy, and I started working with the clay, right? And I did, like, also sculptures of the faces. They were more like reliefs that you could hang on the wall. And then I did a couple of sculptures, like, I did a boot that is also part of the collection. Well, it's sold now. It's not anymore part, but, like, it's the part of this abstract life. And at the same time, I started thinking about oils, to see how to bring it, like, into my practice. But I didn't want to. India has very restriction with the oils. I don't know, maybe because it's
really?
such a hot country. They mostly paint in acrylic here.
Oh, wow.
And
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I would say so. I don't know what's the reason, but it's really hard to get. Like, you can get some paints, but, like, some good brands, it's really hard to get the good brands. A lot of acrylic, oil hues. You could get a lot of oil hues,
Oh,
which is not
okay.
real paint, right?
Yeah.
So I always try to get a really high quality art products for myself, and then like I overpay them because of the price. But like, that's something what I do. I like to paint on with a high quality and on a high quality material. And so anyway, I went to the art store, bought paints, but then like, I didn't like, you could get just the turpentine. It was really stinky. Like, the old turpentine with the smell, not the one without the smell, right?
Yeah, like the pine
So,
tree
and
smell. Is that like
no,
pine
I don't
trees?
know. It's
Oh,
like it's bizarre. It's like it's so strong. I don't think it smells like a gas, like
okay. Yeah.
like yeah, yeah. So, and I was like, I can't do that because I'm just gonna start having headaches or whatever. And I somehow it just popped in front of my face that you could use lavender as a medium, as an
Really?
oil. It's
Ah,
amazing. It's amazing cleaner for the brushes or for the like as a thinner, works as a thinner really perfectly.
really?
Um, yeah, so I started working that, and then in the meantime, I found also those mineral spirits. So, and then I went into the oils, and that's how my abstract life series came to life, which are these behind me. Not, I don't think you can see all of them. They are not all. I've sold already a couple of them.
Yay.
But
Not
so
surprised.
what? Yeah, but so abstract life is so we live in a country 3 to 4 years, right? And then we moved to a new country, and this is my 4th year. It's just coming to be the full 4th year, and I started before I even knew that we will be moving in somewhere like September, with trying to again see how far I can go above the just the portrait, because I kind of, not that I mastered the portrait phase, but like it wasn't so much challenging for me. So I wanted to go into the figure, and I started working with the oils in the figure, and I worked like probably 2 months of that painting because it was so frustrating, because it's, oils are so
Hmm.
slow,
Yeah. It's way
and
different than
then like
acrylic.
yeah, and I'm very intuitive painter. I don't do sketches. I just come, I stand in front of the canvas and I start paint, and I just listen to myself with a color combination, just whatever. Like I would watch the painting and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll put yellow here, and then like, oh, then I'll put pink or orange, whatever, right?
Hmm.
So I never pre-plan my art, and that's really hard with oils. Like I'm
Hmm.
working now on one commission, and I'm like, I have it here, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this color, so I have to wait that it dries so I can repaint.
Yeah.
you know so so in abstract life, basically it's about this change, going out of the comfort zone, right? It's like, for one, it's comfort zone, going away from the medium that I used to be working. Second is going from the comfort zone, being in this country, to something new, because it's
Hmm.
like, going, it's basically as a rebirth. Like you start from
Yeah.
the beginning, you
Right.
have to learn where's the grocery, where's the post office, where's the whatever, you have to learn your way around. So but still I kept this strength in my figurative art, um, about woman can achieve if she is on a mission to achieve, you know so
Hmm. Oh
that's
my goodness.
that's yeah. So like, if you see up there, it's a woman in a desert, in a pink
Hmm.
desert.
Hmm.
I'm really fascinated with Arizona and New Mexico, and like
Hmm.
their landscape. I love it. And all of my portraits have cowboy boots, right? They
Yeah.
represent durability for me, right? And then
Okay.
like in this one, you could see the car, which
Uh-huh.
represents the speed which people decide their own speed with which speed they're going to go in the life to move forward, right? So there is always some story about my art, like in the depth. Every single object has a meaning. So um, I know you told me that you read my last newsletter about this lady.
Yes.
This
Your
one.
email,
Yeah.
your email newsletters are really good. Like everybody should subscribe because that journalist is coming out. Your way of describing the paintings. Yes, go ahead. Talk about the piece behind you
Yeah.
if you
So
want to.
this, yeah, no problem. So this piece is basically, it's talking about being comfortable in what you are wearing in, and it's like, we tend to like dress up for the most of the time for the other people, right? Like if you
Mhm.
really look at it, we say, oh no, we dress up for ourselves, but we don't. Like we dress up for, like, we put makeup to, like, because we don't have that confidence to show up in front
Yeah.
of people without the makeup, right? Because
Hmm.
we want to be more prettier, which is, you
Yeah.
know that's why it's makeup there. And it's fine, it's totally fine. But it's like it's this artwork speaks mostly about like a why do I have to change for somebody and be uncomfortable just to satisfy somebody else? Why I cannot just show up who I am? And this is the lady in kind of pajama like outfit, in her yellow cowboy boots, coming to the museum. She's standing behind this abstract painting.
Hmm.
And you could start seeing in my artwork, there's a lot of abstract paintings. I don't know. I think I'm kind of transitioning back to the abstract. I'm trying to include more abstract art. I love abstract art. Like it's like I'm crazy about it, and I can't wait to come to the new house and just get one painting that I've been looking at into it.
Okay.
It's so yeah. So, and it's basically, if man can show up in a jeans and shirt, I can do that too. Like, so then here we come back to
Yeah.
the equality, right? So
I
yeah.
know when you explained it so good just now and in your newsletter. So once I heard the story, it was like, oh my gosh, I really want this painting. And
Thank you.
it's just so cool. I know as an artist myself, when I am able to share a story about the piece, I feel like people really like that. And you
Yeah.
definitely have a gift for communicating and telling those stories. And the world needs more stories, right? Everybody connects them in a different way. And your Instagram posts even you just have a really great way of writing and communicating. And if you write a long post, I read the whole thing. I can't say
Oh.
that for everybody. I don't even know if people read, that is just such a cool, it's a bonus to your work is so amazing, but then to have the story too is just such a cool bonus. And don't you, do you feel that, all of these different things and places that you've been and you had your job in journalism has been such a important part of your story and where you are today as a creative person? What do you think
Yeah,
about that?
absolutely. No, I totally agree with this observation. Everything what I did so far in my life, being a bartender, or like working in I even worked at one point in as a cleaner, right?
Hmm.
And I think everything has I brought took a little piece from something from each thing and brought it into my life, that like it kind of made me who I am today. And
Hmm.
I'm very thankful for all those things that, like, a lot of times they were not nice things, but like even in these days, sometimes things happen that I don't want them to happen. And I could, like, um, grieve over them or be upset over them, but I don't. I just let them go and like take them as something that is beneficial to me, and I try to learn something out of it. But I do totally agree with that. That yep, everything what you go through your life, it's beneficial for your today.
Yeah,
You know.
I couldn't agree with that more. And it's funny, the last person I interviewed was Celine Gabrielle, and
Oh,
Celine
that's
has
cool.
had a very similar attitude about her pre-career as an esthetician. I don't know. I
Oh,
can't say that
okay.
word. An esthetician maybe. And,
Esthetician, yeah.
yeah. And so instead of one question was, instead of, looking back and saying, oh man, I could have been an artist this whole time. Where would I be now? I know a lot of creative people are listening. Instead of having that attitude of being upset, oh man, where would my art be? You're looking at it from a different perspective and saying, well, all of the things that I learned have made me the person I am today, that is able to create these pieces and do the things that I'm doing. So I love that so much. And thank you for sharing. Okay. I want to touch really quickly on your apparel line and your items for sale. And I think this is so awesome. It inspires me. And I'm thinking about merchandise for my art because it makes art more accessible, and your art is so cool. It's like, why wouldn't you? So could you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And just when you said making art accessible, I'm all about this. I don't do prints just because I feel like maybe I should go away from that thinking. But like, I feel, as you know, we women are very similar, but we are like, I'm only one person in the world, right? And you are only one person in the world. So that's the same with my art. There is only one person in the world, and I mean, one piece of art like this, and I kind of don't like doing the reproduction. But I am
everyone
gonna
has
have to like,
their own take
yeah.
on it.
I mean, I have a couple of pieces, but like, but I am all about like accessible art, like especially art for people to see who cannot afford it. Like I've participated in a couple of exhibitions where they would take my art and print it and put it like on the paths that people who pass by work would see the artwork, right? And that happened in the New York last year and the year before. And then like, now I've been putting my artwork in the stores in LA, in California.
Oh, that's
And
so cool.
yeah, that is cool, right? I mean, and you don't, of course I'm happy if you buy my art, but I'm also happy like if you see it, and if it makes something in you, that shifts in you, that it makes you feel good, or it just makes your day better, So with my art apparel, it's called Papaya and Pica. It's named by my two daughters, their nicknames. Papaya is older and Pica is the little one. So it emerged, or how would I say that? It became real because my friends were like, "Hey, put some of your art." Sorry, my voice. I'm losing my voice. Put some of your art on the t-shirts. We would like to wear it. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Let's do this." So I did that, and from the t-shirts now I'm mostly having t-shirts and some sweatshirts. I tried some home goods, but no, it doesn't go on the home goods.
Well, you gotta try, right? Try new
Yeah,
things.
and I guess I should wear it today, but I didn't. You see,
It's okay.
it's yeah.
We'll post
So, but
a link to that.
yeah, everybody should go check it out because it's really cool, though. Yeah, I think it's art itself empowers a person to, and that's the mission also of that brand that I'm working on, to empower you to wear something powerful, that you could like feel that what is in my art, that you can do things. So.
Oh yes, my 13-year-old daughter and I already have things picked out. We just need to order.
That's cool.
So yeah, and you said
cool.
the items, most of them are made in the US, right?
Yes, most of them are made in the US. Couple of them is made here in India, which with they were like certain projects that I worked on them. They were like those scarves, and I had a couple of jackets that I physically painted, and then they're now all sold out, right? So, but so all the products are, well, not exactly all, but I'm going towards it to be sustainable or eco-friendly material. Yeah, because like
that.
living here, just living in India, it just brought so much awareness about trying to be sustainable. And I have to say something. India is pretty good about it. Like
Really?
India, it is the only country that I know, that I lived in, that they ban out the plastic bags. You can't buy any more plastic bags. Like that's like amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So in a billions of people country, that's something so extremely good. So
Yeah.
but then there's a downside on the other stuff.
Yeah. I wish we didn't have plastic bags. They're everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, here's another question. Are you ready? You want to keep going?
Yep.
I want to be
Let's
aware of your time. I'm having so
No,
much
that's
fun. Okay.
Thank you. Me too.
I know that you have 2 daughters. So I have daughters too. So living the mom artist life. What does a typical day look like for you? It's so fascinating how we artists live, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know when was the last time I slept longer than 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, now I've been waking by myself at 5, so I could just get some time in the morning for myself, because my kids, they just love being awake.
Mine too.
They try to go, they try to go to sleep late and wake up early. But even though I'm very strict, they have to be at 8 o'clock, 8:30, the latest in the bed. So they would wake up at 6, and then now school started, so I get them ready, and then I take them to school by 9. They're both in the school, and then I come to my studio, and I work. This is my work, and I work for between 3 to 4 hours, even though I don't think it's enough time to do, like to fulfill my inspiration. I just don't feel like it's enough. And then I have to go pick up my younger one from the school, and then we come home. Sometimes I take her with me back to the studio, depends where I left. But most of the time, then I just stay through the day with them, and then at night I would put them to bed, and then I would come back to my studio, or spend time with my husband. But like even after I spend some time with my husband, I still come back to the studio because I just love this space. It's basically a bedroom converted in the studio. So I could just like show you a little bit so you could see like my favorite wall. I'm gonna miss that place.
I've
so
seen
much.
photos of that wall. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a podcast, but this will also be posted. No, it's cool. It'll also be posted on YouTube. If you guys want to see Ana Studio, you can pop into the YouTube channel. Of course, I'll have that link posted too. And we can see, because you did show us some of your pieces from your new series too. So no, it's all
correct,
good. In fact, subscribe to my YouTube channel,
which
is basically like it's a mix of podcast interviews, and then I've been creating with my daughters. So it's very kid focused, the other part of it, which is kind of fun. So
that's great.
Yeah. As
Kids
a mom,
love to learn about the artists.
Yeah. We've been experimenting with different mediums, and that's been really, really fun. And they love it.
Prior COVID and during the COVID. So prior COVID, I live in a community here. So that time there was a lot of young girls. They were like between age 4 and 9, and they all wanted to come to learn art because my daughter was like, "Oh, mom, my mom is artist." Right?
Yeah.
So I had like once a week art lessons with them, and they were amazing. Like,
oh, that's
it's
so
just
fun.
It blows my mind how they are capable of doing art, and like art that you would say, no, that's not, no way that's like 4-year-old did that art. And I'll show you, I'll send you a picture of my daughter doing also that type of the art. It's like a landscape, like like landscape where you do the like a night with the stars. It's like it's a very easy thing, but like if 4-year-old can do it, everybody can do it. So
got to keep all of those pieces of art. Are your daughters artistic?
What I wanted to see, the little one is very into the painting, but the older one is really into the reading and writing. So which is great, and
that's art.
And I just that's art, exactly. And the older one is playing violin, and that's I never push them into anything. Whatever they want to do, they do it, and that's what they want to do, and I'll just support them.
Yeah, you just give them the materials and let them go crazy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. They're so lucky to have an artist for a mom. it's an
Yeah.
adventure. It's like,
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's an adventure. I know my kids are going to have stories for days about that. If you hear a booming noise, which happened, it almost doesn't sound like a
I
gunshot,
don't
but
hear
you didn't
anything.
hear a booming noise. I have snow
No,
melting
no.
right now. I'm in
Oh,
Michigan.
okay.
So it's a warmer day and there's a ton of snow on the roof and it's crashing down. So it's kind of startling, but okay. So, I can relate to your schedule because I build my whole schedule around the school day. And yes, I know I know what you're saying. I have to set an alarm. So I have to set an alarm so I remember to pick my kids up from school because I'll get so into what I'm doing that
Right.
like
Yeah.
before I had kids, I could just paint for hours and hours and hours and hours and drink coffee and crank. And now, yeah, I know sometimes it's like, oh man, I picture myself without, when the kids move out of the house, it's like, I'm not going to retire. I'm just going to hopefully have the energy to just keep going. Right. Okay.
You will.
So
Yeah.
now tell us about, okay, so you're moving. So you have a move coming up and you have your new series that you just released. And I know of one project that you're thinking of that you're working on for this year, but is there anything you want to share with us that you're excited about? I know it's going to take some time for you to settle and reconfigure, but
Yeah. So in last month, I got a bunch of invitation for collaboration and exhibition and it's like it's so interesting that it's happening now when I have to like start packing my art and like
yeah.
what like it's a little bit chaotic, but I am a I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna let it go with the flow and keep updated on my Instagram, which when you were talking earlier about the Instagram for me used to be a pain, but now I see it as art diary. Like I just post something and put my thought out, and I let it go into the universe, and whoever wants to connect with it, it does. If it doesn't, I don't want to bother with it. I don't want to be like depending on those likes, and like I don't want that to be my goal. And I can't say, I mean, I had a lot of sales come through the Instagram and through the Facebook, and mostly Instagram though, and I'm very grateful for that. But it's like I don't want to commit my life to it, even though sometimes I find myself being really a lot on it. So but yeah, it is like my art diary where I also post updates, what's going on with my life. But yeah, I have like one auction coming in UK in beginning of March, and then one in South Korea.
Oh my goodness.
I know,
It's
it's so amazing. I
exciting.
love this thought, right? But it's like
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated knowing that my art is like everywhere in the world. Like it's
Yeah.
from Peru to South Africa. It's like just amazing, and it didn't go yet into the Russia. Maybe one day,
Yeah.
but like it's like I'm also having one project that I can talk about, that it's I painted 3 years ago portraits of Indonesian ladies that are going to be as a permanent exhibition in the eco resort on island Lombok next to Bali.
Oh,
And
wow.
I know, it's
That's
so amazing. It's like
amazing.
I could say, oh, I do the hospitality art as well, right? But it's
Yes.
no, it was like it was people that have that resort. They just connected through with my art, and they just love it, and they asked me. They commissioned. So the because of the pandemic, I couldn't send them the originals. But the originals are small paintings, but they like blew them up on the big portraits, and it looks stunning. It's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh my
that's gonna
goodness.
be. I think it's gonna be the opening March 1st.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I have to check. Yeah.
Are you
So
going to be there? at the opening?
No,
No.
no, no.
Yeah.
It's getting too busy. Like, just going
Yeah.
to dealing with doing the paperwork for my dog, which I was doing today all day.
Paperwork for
It's
your
like
dog? Aw.
yeah, to ship the dog. Yeah, you have to do the what it is, all the shots, and then you have to do the certain tests that take like 1 month, and then another month it takes to do the another import papers, whatever. So it's a long process. Yeah.
Oh my
So you
goodness.
have to do.
Oh, you have to bring your dog though, you know?
Of course, she's my first child though. She's gonna be 11 years old now.
Oh, I found,
Mhm.
okay. Side note, here's a big takeaway I wanted to talk about. Your writing is so beautiful and I love it. You know that. I think
Okay.
I found this on your blog. Okay. Which you actually write on. I'm guilty. I aspire to write on my blog. I need to do that. But here's a quote that you wrote, and I love it so much. It says, when you lose your comfort zone, you are left with a blank canvas to paint your new story. I was like,
Yep.
wow, that's awesome.
Yep. That is, I mean, that's so true. I don't know if it's awesome. It's frustrating to the
Yeah.
point, like
Yeah,
it
that's true.
depends in which comfort zone you are, right? I mean, if I say it was, as I mentioned earlier, started working back with the oils. That was like super frustrating for me, right? But it's like it's something that I'm doing with a pleasure. But now, if I go losing my comfort zone, moving to a new country, which is like, especially the country that it's like maybe doesn't have English as a second language,
Mm-hmm.
it can be really frustrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but then you find that benefit of that frustration, that like, it's like it's so fulfilling that you know how to communicate in the country that doesn't speak English. It's like just like, you start your painting, like
Mm-hmm.
you start your new paint, you paint your new life. So
Mm-hmm.
I love it though. So,
Yeah, so much growth. So many growth
mhm.
opportunities come from living outside of your comfort zone. I'm a firm believer in that. Okay, I have a rapid
Yep.
fire round of questions for you as we get ready
Okay,
to
let's do it.
close. And it's off top of mind. So whatever you think of right away. Okay. When I ask you the
Okay,
question. All
first
right.
shot. Okay.
There may be more than one answer too. And there's no right or wrong answer here. Okay. Number one,
Okay.
what is your favorite color? Might be a hard question. I don't know.
No, I really love orange.
Okay. What shade of
Yeah,
orange?
some bright orange, maybe pyro orange.
Oh yeah.
Even yeah, I like that color. It's bold and it's like it's loud. It's like
Mm-hmm.
warning, like hey,
Mm-hmm.
I love that color. Yeah,
More like a reddish
so
orange, kind of.
reddish orange. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a reddish orange with the yellow inside. Like it's still bright.
Mm-hmm.
I lost you. You can hear me.
Yeah.
But you frozen.
Oh,
You're
I'm
having a
here.
funny face.
Oh,
But
great.
anyway, um, oh, there you go. Yeah, that would be my favorite color for the moment. In painting, I love it. I'm attracted to it. I really like bright colors, though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I
I don't
know.
wear them. I wear very subtle colors, like very earthy blue, not brown, but blue and black are my colors that I wear. But I like to express and put my house in a very bold colors.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is there one color that you use that when it's almost like you try not to put it in each painting, but you're like, okay, now for my secret weapon, which is this color. I know I have one color that I try not to put in all my paintings, but then at the end, I
but
always think it needs I know what it needs.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't
Maybe it's
know.
orange.
Like
I don't know. Like
maybe
the,
it's, yeah, but it's like yeah, might be orange. I also love yellow. Like
mm-hmm.
the lemon yellow.
Yes.
I really like it. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's the one that like it's because it's so like attention seeking color.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah. I think
Yeah.
no, but no, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, not really though. It was at one point I did had a like a, oh, what's that color? It's not a turquoise. It's more like a lighter bluish color. I don't know what's the name. I
Like a
can't
sky
remember
blue
now.
almost.
No, not sky blue. If you give me a second, I'll go check the name.
Okay. Sure.
But we can continue talking.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, here it is. It's called a permanent blue light. So
Ooh.
as I was talking in about the art supplies in India, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can, for the longest time I couldn't get the golden colors in here, like golden
Yeah.
brand. This is the color I'm talking about.
Oh yes. Oh, I love that
Like
color.
it's very nice. It's like a light blue, but it's not light blue.
It's like sky blue, kind of, but like robin's egg, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Bright.
Well, yeah,
Beautiful.
that was one of the colors that used to be in my art, but not much. No, yeah.
Yes.
I just go like how I feel. Yeah.
I can tell
but
you
like
love
in
color.
This series,
yes.
I do. Like in this series, there is a lot of blue and red, and pink. So yeah. So I just felt like these are the colors that I want to speak about. So,
awesome. Okay. So in America, a lot of people get inspiration, like they get their ideas while they're in the shower, which does not happen for me. I don't know why, but when I'm driving in my car by myself, that's where I get inspiration. Sometimes I get some great ideas. Do you have a certain place, or I almost feel like after talking to you, I know the answer to this question, but maybe I'm wrong. Where does inspiration strike for you?
In my studio.
Okay.
Because no, it's a I don't know, mostly it comes like, so I could listen something, like I like to listen books and read them, and I like to lately I started really listening to the podcast about the mindset, and like I don't know why, but it's just like it's soothing at this point. It's really soothing to learn about those things, and I love one podcast. It's called The School of Greatness, I think.
Oh yeah, Lewis
by
Howes.
Yes, I
Okay.
love whoever he hosts. He is amazing, like and I like to listen to this, and then I reflect to how certain things that I listen or read you know has an impact on me, and that would be my inspiration, like puts me in the certain emotion, and then I was like, oh, I want to go pick this up now. So
I
but
love that.
no shower, no yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of time it comes like a lot of times it happens when I'm sitting at night in studio and working on something and listening, but sometimes it happens also in the morning when I wake up, and like, and also what mood am I in, so yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned that podcast. Is there a movie or a book that you want to mention that you really spoke to you, inspired you, or that you love?
So I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, which is like so stupid. Like
No.
I should, but I just feel like it's waste of time. Like for me, and at night I rather read a book. And like it's bizarre because I worked for like 9 years in media, like on the TV station. Right? And now I'm like totally off. But a book, oh gosh, I don't have a Kindle with me or to remember the title. There was one book called Ordinary People. I don't know who's the title, who's the author. Ordinary People. I can send you the link. And then I just read a book from Marisa Peer. She's I would say that she's a British psychologist or something like this, but she lives in the US. And the book is called I Am Enough, and it's really inspiring book about a for me it was inspiring because it was confirming exactly how I am feeling, and it was confirming that it's nothing wrong to feel like that you have that power in yourself to like make yourself feel better, like and yeah, that's the book.
Okay,
So
great.
maybe
Okay,
as a
here's
recommendation.
those are great book recommendations. I'm probably gonna have to read them. I read a lot too. Is there an art form or a sport that you admired that you wish you were good at? Now, I would like to touch on the fact that I've been enjoying you learning how to roller skate in your
Oh, I love
Instagram
that.
stories. Okay. Someday I have rollerblades, so we can do some roller skating together. That would be really fun.
Yeah, you
um,
know what? No, I am totally not a sport person. I play tennis.
okay.
So I started playing tennis last year, no, 2 years ago, after the first lockdown. And we still kind of couldn't go anywhere. Our pool was closed, like, and it was summertime. There was nothing to do, and I was sick of doing yoga. I love doing yoga, but like
Yeah.
sometimes I just have to have a break.
Yeah.
And then one of my neighbor was like, "Hey, I've got like really good coach. Come play one day with us tennis." And I was like, "Me tennis?" Well, you know. And
Yeah.
I tried, and now I play tennis, and I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
awesome.
It's yeah. So I do it once or twice a week for an hour, and
Okay.
then I always loved to learn how to skate. And as a kid, we did that, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
And then when in my young adult ages, I was rollerblading, and I would rollerblade to the work,
Okay.
right?
Oh,
Um,
wow. You rollerblade to work? That's
yeah,
so
yeah. I
cool.
mean, my city is so small that you go
Yeah.
from one point to another point, and it's like 1 hour,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you are on the other side of the city. So, and then I left Slovenia, and I didn't do anything, and I always wanted to do the rollerblading, roller skating, sorry. And especially those quads, because they have boot and they're like so cool.
Yeah.
And then for my 40th birthday, no, I'm lying. For the Christmas this year, Santa brought me. I mean, I myself brought. No, I mean Santa
Yeah.
brought me. The kids
Mm-hmm.
are gonna watch this. Um, brought me the roller skates, and I emerged in this really interesting. I don't know, is it a sport or what it is? A
Yeah.
hobby? Whatever.
It's
I love it.
cool. Uh,
It's so cool. It's like it's amazing. I can't wait to like find more area where I could like skate, because here I don't have very good paths to skates.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Oh, that's
yeah,
fun.
I
It's
love
been
it.
fun watching you. Now, I'm guessing roller skating is harder to learn than rollerblading. Do you think? I think it probably is.
Um,
Or it's just
I don't
different.
know. It's different, because I think blading is like you're on
Mm-hmm.
blade, like you
Mm-hmm.
have to stand on this.
Mm-hmm.
Skates, you still have like four wheels. It's different, I guess,
Yeah.
but I think knowing how to blade before helped me with the skating as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't, I didn't have to like, I mean, there's a lot of work on your legs, like you have to learn how to do the
Be,
stop, how to do the bubbles or whatever, they're
yeah.
balloons or whatever they're called. But I love it, and I would love to learn how to dance, and I am doing that slowly, how to like dance on the skates. Not that
Yes.
I'll dance, I don't think I'll dance in front of camera for you guys, but for
Yeah.
myself, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
so
fun. There's a few
yeah,
art queens that roller skate. Did you know that?
oh, they do? No.
Volta from Color Snack. She
Oh,
got
she
roller
skates.
skates last year.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
So she's posted
awesome.
videos of her roller skating. And then Allison Ray Campbell, she was like a roller derby girl.
Oh no,
That the
really?
race and at the rink.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So someday we
Awesome.
could all get together and roller skate. It'll be a riot.
Absolutely. I am absolutely for that. Like, and I find myself now watching a lot of these skate videos on
Yes.
Instagram, right? And it's especially like I'm really fascinated in the skate rinks, when they jump, or like there is one lady that like she's wild, man. She goes through the whole, she lives in California, I don't know, I think in LA, but she's like skating on the middle of the road. The cars are passing. She's like going like, and I'm like, oh my god, how do
Yeah.
you do that? Like, how do you even stop?
I
you know,
know.
and yeah, that's been my engagement. Like that's how I engage myself. So
Oh,
it
that's so
it makes me
fun.
happy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But I
love it.
have to look into Volta and in Allison to see their skating, maybe
Yeah.
get some.
Allison's like professional, or she was, I don't know. She just moved to
Yeah.
Michigan too.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
or
Close
she
to you.
too. She lives in Michigan. She lives north of me, like by 4 hours, I think. But
Oh, okay.
she
Yeah.
lived in California and then
That's
she moved to Michigan. I don't know why, but
yeah.
it's like, why would you leave sunny California? But anyway, so
Yeah.
that's super cool. It's been really fun to see your stories of you learning how to roller skate or doing your
Yeah,
tricks. I
thanks.
love it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, next question. What's your studio beverage of choice? What do you like to drink
Studio beverage.
yeah. What do you like to drink when you're in your
Water,
studio? Mm-hmm.
water, and I used to drink a lot of coffee,
Okay.
and then in December I decided I didn't want to drink any more coffee because I drank like 3 coffees a day, and they were like Turkish coffee. Have you ever drank Turkish coffee?
No. Is it awesome?
Really strong, awesome. Oh my gosh, I still miss it, but like I don't know. I want to have a little break, so I'm drinking tea now. It's really intense and it's really strong coffee, and it's cooked a bit different, right? You have to boil the water and then put the powder because it's like very fine powder of the coffee, like Turkish way of coffee, right? And then you put this and bring it to boil, and then you drink that, right?
Ooh.
So that's like that's the style of coffee we drink in Slovenia, but it's really strong. So, but now, I don't like any other beverages. I love water and I like wine, but I don't drink that in studio.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't make good art when I drink wine. I have to fix it.
I never tried. I never tried with wine. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll make it better.
I don't know. For me, it didn't work out. I only did it a couple times, and it was the next day I was like, what did I do? Anyway. Okay. So Ana, is there a creative challenge or advice that you would like to give our listeners? Some kind of challenge or a piece of advice that you would, something you want to
say? Okay. To perfect your art or something, try the art challenge of 100 days of art.
Oh,
yeah, it's a big commitment, but once you go in the groove, like I did it in last year, August, September, October. I did 90 days. Yeah. And I started like, trying to paint the hand. And then I was trying to paint the chair, whatever. And I was like, that's not me. I'm not going to paint that. I'm not paint. I was sketching. Right. So, and then I was like, I'm just going to work on the faces, like to see how, and I was using pencil and watercolor, just slightly of the watercolor to paint the circle. And my skills to paint the eyes or the lips or the nose so much improved, like, and it's unbelievable. It's really stunning, like how you grow in these 90 or 100 days that you're doing the art. And as I said, it's a commitment, but like I would get up in the morning and I would feed my kids, and they were at home that time. And then I would just sit to the table. I was like, hey, let's do this challenge. You can go play, but I'll take 20 minutes and work on it. So, and I worked for 20 minutes. And now I have 100 pieces of art, which I am going to be including into my book, which I think you're talking, that's my project. Yes. I will be publishing book of my art that was made in India as what is that? How do you say that? As
like a memory of like a
memory or like a legacy to my work.
I love that.
Born in India.
Put me on your list. I'm gonna buy the first copy or the second.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be a gorgeous book. And what a cool way to commemorate your time there and to really I know. I want to do that too. I love the book idea. I love it.
It's like, I think people are gonna love it. They're gonna like, and then we're talking again about accessible art, right? Not everybody can afford the art that like we have. I had one studio visit with Charuta, and she asked me what was the most expensive thing in my studio, and I was like, my art. Right? I mean, there's literally nothing. Like I don't spend much on the table or on the cloths or whatever, right? But like it is my art, like, and it's because I put a lot of time in it, and like thoughts, and like it's not that my art just embarked in 2 years. I've been painting for 10 years, and so everybody has its own price. So yeah, as a book, it's gonna be called Me the Woman, and I'm excited. I think I'm aiming to publish it in October, so I put that date there just because of this move and all the transition, and so to give myself time to do it. Yeah,
awesome. I love it so much. Is there anything else you want to share before we close?
No, anything? I think we are pretty good.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Oh, I enjoyed this so much. Okay. So to support you, how can we support you? I know emotionally we can support you as you transition to the next chapter, and can't wait to hear more about that. And also, I highly recommend your new email newsletter. You're very consistent and you share, and it's a beautiful email that will land in your inbox. And you have your papaya and pica. Did I say that right? Or pica and papaya?
Yes.
Papaya and pica line. And your new series is out. So you have new, gorgeous, fresh pieces waiting for new homes. And how else can we support you? Follow you on Instagram?
So follow me on Instagram, which is my first Ana_Sneeringer. And yeah, that's mostly my social media where I work, or my website, anasneeringer.com. And about the new series, because of my move, I will be my shop for them, like that you could get them, is going to be open until March. I'm not sure, probably mid-March, and then I'll have to shut it down for a couple of months, because then I have to pack them and bring them to the other continent. You could still buy them, but you would have to communicate with me that I could ship them then, in a couple of months later.
Yeah, might just have to wait a little bit. But if somebody has their eye on something, they just need to get a hold of you, for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time, the extra time to be with me and to
I love it, Sarah.
I would love to have you back someday and recap and see where you're at with your work. I just can't wait to see what happens in your studio in 2022 and all the beautiful, amazing things that you create. You're such a shining light in the world, and we need your message more than ever. And it's just so beautiful. So thanks again for being here.
And thank you for having me. And it's so, you're making me blush a little bit. It's so empowering to hear the words from a great artist as you are. And you know what? My favorite thing in the people is their voice. And you have beautiful voice. Oh. And you're such a generous person. And thank you again for having me. And I love spending the extra time with you.
Oh my goodness. You're making me blush. Oh,
there you go.
This has been such a treat.
You get what you give, right?
Yeah. So, thank you so much. And I look forward to interacting with you on Instagram, because I know we get to direct message each other, and I watch you learn.
I'm very accessible for that. Yeah. I love communicating with people.
Yes. You're very good about getting back and sharing. And so, well, to be continued, I guess. And thank you again. I appreciate it. And I would say I hope you have a great day, but it's the end of your day. So
I'll go to sleep. Okay, but
good night.
Have a great day.
Thank you, and good night. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and check out Ana's work and her socials and her website and all of the things. And we will be in touch. So thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Ana.
Ciao.
Bye.